So this is the iPhone 16e, and I've had it for about a week now, and it's been a pretty good performer. But today it's going to face off against a similarly sized and feeling phone, but from the Android side, the Galaxy S25. Let's see which one comes out on top in the speed test comparison. So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Let's go ahead and begin with a boot up test in 3, 2, go, and see which one could get there first. Now, I do have to mention that both of these phones, when I first picked them up, they feel like identical. They both have kind of like the same shape. They both have like similar thinness. They both kind of feel very, very similar. I would say that the edges are slightly sharper on the iPhone 16e, but not so much. And the 16e does boot up faster than the Galaxy S25. A18 chipset on the left, and this does have the Snapdragon 8 Elite, 12 gigabytes of RAM, 8 gigabytes of RAM on the left. So when it comes to unlocking these phones, the iPhone 16e does have Face ID, so if you go ahead and take a look right there, it is definitely very quick to respond, and it's been basically this way forever. If you are looking for a little bit of a faster unlock, the Samsung offers that here with the ultrasonic in-display fingerprint sensor. You don't even have to look. You can also unlock the S25 via Face as well, but you're using the camera, so it's not quite the same type of security as the iPhone, but you get that smaller punch hole versus this big notch over here. So let me know which one you prefer in terms of unlocking. When it comes to the general speed running through iOS, I've been kind of paying attention to this the past week, and it's basically just another 60 hertz iPhone. I do have to say though that it is fast. It's still a fast phone, and it's pretty smooth. It's more smooth than the 60 hertz I find on some Android phones, but that's not an excuse to not have 90 hertz at this point, so I still wish this had that. But I don't think most users are going to have a real issue with this phone. It's pretty fast to open pretty much all applications and runs to the software just fine. However, for a similar price tag, well, this is closer to the 16 in price, but usually with trade-ins and stuff, you could probably find this S25 around the same price as a 16e. If you are going to trade in any old Android phone to get $200 off, you'll see over here, if I just click an application or something, everything just kind of like runs through very smoothly here. This is 120 hertz adaptive refresh, so I do think this is a better deal than both the 16 and 16e if you're looking for a smoother overall experience when it comes to scrolling through your smartphone day to day. But other than that, both of them do run through their software incredibly smooth and well, so you have great options these days between these two right here. All right, guys, so everything is closed out for both phones. Let's go ahead and begin with calendar, and you can see a little bit faster there for the Galaxy S25. You'll see both have non-linear animations, so both of them are very smooth to come out. Let's go into clock. Also, again, faster on the S25. If we go through these sections, I even feel like the S25 just kind of like pops things open a little quicker as well. Let's go into calculator. That was faster on the S25. Let's go into Instagram, and you'll see we loaded up there first on the right. And as we go in and take a look at a photo here, that was faster on the 16e. You'll see they generally tend to run along this test pretty similarly when opening up. Got some ads here in Instagram. If we scroll through, you'll see pretty fast scrolling there on the Samsung, but still, both of them do a good job. Let's go to their respective news apps. You'll see this one does faster here. We're just going to scroll through over here, kind of see what's happening. Now if we swipe out, let's go into Play Store, App Store. This was faster clearly on the right. So far, Samsung is not losing anything so far. Let's go into X. You'll see that was quicker on the Samsung as well. We'll hit profile, faster again. And the 16e definitely behind. Let's go into Gemini. And I think that was the Samsung. Let's go into Amazon. Again, faster on the right. And, the 16e does have flagship level processors, so we shouldn't be dealing with a huge issue. Let's go over here to trending, and we'll go over here to gaming. We'll go over here to movies, scrolling. So let's go over here to Groupon, faster on the right. We'll go over here to categories. Again, faster even to pop up the sub menu of categories. We'll go into, let's go ahead and get some oil changes done. Faster again there on the right. So far, but we're getting a little bit of chop there, scrolling on the right. So far, we are getting better performance. Oh, I gotta come out of there. Now I gotta click that one. I missed it because I was talking. Hold on, let me close that and do that again. You know, you are gonna get better performance on this phone right here, for sure. So, and you've seen that my 16 versus 16E was pretty neck and neck. So this one probably faster than the 16 as well. Let's swipe up out of there. We'll go into Subway Surfers. Samsung ahead on that one as well. I was kind of surprised by that. I thought in the games, iPhone is going to do what it usually does. Comes out ahead. Let's see what happens here with Brawl Stars. But I missed that tap again. Hold on. I don't know what's going on with my 16E. Let's hit Brawl Stars. And you'll see Brawl Stars first on the right. Not a massive difference though. It's still flagship level on the iPhone 16e. Let's go into RTS, but gotta call it like I see it. Samsung so far is winning almost every single app. Here once again as well. 12 gigabytes of RAM. We'll see how that plays into the reloads. That doesn't always mean that it's gonna win though. Let's go into Call of Duty. And you'll see Call of Duty seeming to open first again on the right. We're pulling out even a heavier duty game here now on the right. So yeah, Samsung not playing even in the higher end stuff here, in the higher end game. Okay, so over here now, looks like we got to the lobby first. I think this is doing some loads or something. Let's go over here. I can confirm. Oh, it's an account. Oh, because they're on a similar account. Yeah, it's logging me out. That's what was happening, but they both, Samsung was in the lead, but this one started to get to the lobby first. So I'll probably call it the 16E because it did get to the lobby first. Let's go into Real Racing and we'll see what happens here on Real Racing. And looks like the iPhone 16E in the lead. I think the iPhones have been winning every time in this game. No different today. iPhone 16E has taken that one. And the Samsung quite a bit behind here for Real Racing 3. Maybe this game is just simply not optimized properly for this platform. Let's go into Free Fire. And you'll see Free Fire in the lead. So far Samsung's got like 1 or 2 losses in this whole test. Samsung winning this one out here as well. And it's looking like we have another W to what I believe is going to be the iPhone 16e. So the 16e takes the W on this one. I thought it was going to be Samsung, but not today. So it's probably dependent on the app. Let's go into 3D Mark. All right, there's some, maybe it's my screen protector because there is some touch screen issues here going on for my 16e today. Let's go into 3D Mark. And we'll go into Geekbench 6, faster on the right. Let's go into Speed Test Net. And we'll go into LumaFusion. And both of them kind of similar on both of those. So generally running through the software, the 16e is proving that it's on the same level basically as a newer Samsung phone. So it's a good option for those who want to save some money over flagship. However, the Samsung was still a little bit quicker. And all those little milliseconds, they will add up if you're popping through these apps all day long, back and forth. You're going to start to notice that the Samsung just feels zippier. Just put it that way. It also has a little bit faster animations. But the iPhone does kind of feel very natural with its motions. They're a little bit more relaxed. So let's go ahead and take a look at the RAM management now. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and run back through these. You'll see Luma, Speed Test, 3D Mark. You're going to see right here. iPhone doing amazing as usual here on these tests. 8 gigabytes of RAM is a big update if you're coming from one of the older 12s, 13s with 4 GBs. That's going to allow you to stay at least relevant for another 3 to 4 years on these phones, the iPhone 16e. So that's a good value upgrade for you. And if you trade those phones in, you'll get this more at the price of like an iPhone SE used to cost. So I would definitely recommend doing a trade-in if you were going to pick up a 16e. You've seen that it really didn't reload anything when it comes to RAM management. Let's see how One UI 7 and the Samsung S25 handles this. You could see so far, as you would expect, pretty darn smooth. Let's go over here to Real Racing. Nothing reloading so far, and it shouldn't. This has 12 gigabytes of RAM. Brawl Stars Did Brawl Stars do that on the 16E? Let me know down below. I was going to say SE, 16E. If we go over here to Groupon, let's go to YouTube. Little blinking happening there. That wasn't, okay, that was not nice on Gemini. So yeah, the 16E actually looks better here on the RAM management in terms of the looks. I think Instagram was refreshing that feed. It didn't feel as buttery smooth going through this on the S25. There was less of those blinking effects on the apps. It seemed a little bit more stable on the 16E. Although the animations in person still look nicer with the 120 Hertz, this didn't seem as nice here in this area. But there is one pro though. You can do pop view, split view. You can take advantage of that extra RAM on this phone a little bit more than the iPhone 16E. In addition, you could use things like Samsung Dex on this phone, so that can take advantage of that RAM as well when you have multiple apps side by side. You're doing some multitasking in your monitor. And here are the final Geekbench scores, and you can see in the multi-core, Samsung takes down the 16E, but not in the single core. So that might explain why we had such good performance on our app test and our reload test, because that doesn't really push it as far as the multi-core can take it. So the 16E is a pretty substantial improvement over there. So this is a powerhouse at $599. It really is. The Samsung's also a powerhouse as well, but not quite as much in that single core. Things have taken a turn here in the graphical performance. That lesser GPU that Apple did decide to put in the 16E is really showing its weakness here at 19.4 FPS average frame rate, which is similar to a flagship of like 2 years ago. Over here, this one right here, 33.19 and an overall score of 5542. You'll see 3237. So in an actual gaming session, you're likely to have better performance over a longer period on the Samsung in terms of the GPU. But if the app is better optimized for iOS, this could actually sway things a little bit. So the Samsung is technically the higher score and should do better, but there are certain apps that will outperform if they're better optimized for iOS. So it really depends. But definitely the win to the Samsung there. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the cameras. So both of them are ready to go. 3, 2, go. You seen faster for the iPhone 16E. We'll do it again. 3, 2, and go. Yep, so that speed of getting into the camera could mean the difference between getting a shot and not getting it. See how much faster the 16E did that? Let's go ahead and do it again. 3, 2, go. See, that shot was already taken. So the Samsung a little bit slower. Let's go ahead and see how they do with the zooming. The Samsung does have choppier transitions when zooming. I will say that. It's pretty darn smooth here on the iPhone 16E. So, but the camera setup though, I'm taking the Samsung all day. So triple camera has more zoom, way more versatility. And again, if you trade in with those instant discounts, you're likely to be able to get the S25 at almost the same cost as the 16E. And then if you want to try out something like the A56, that's going to be probably even less than a 16E with a bigger screen. So really, if you're looking for value and features, Samsung has it. If you're looking for iOS and the Apple ecosystem, you only got one place to go. Thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know which one you would pick down below in the comments. Stay tuned for more speed test comparisons and reviews, and I'll catch you on the next one. Nick here. Be sure to be well, and peace.